Hey, everybody, it's Tony Jackson with US Power Soccer Association, and we are now joined by members of the San Jose Flash and the Wisconsin Warriors. Joining me today, Kenzie Damon out in Wisconsin and Michael Rayton out in California. I don't know where you are, Michael, but I know you're somewhere in California.
San Jose.
San Jose, okay. All right. I didn't want to assume that you lived in San Jose, even though you do play for the San Jose Flash. First of all, thank you both for joining us today. We are about to watch the President's Conference Championship match, and my goodness, I didn't get to see most of the match because I was playing in the Founders Conference game against the Sac Valley Flames. But what I do remember coming off the court and seeing a huge group of people around Court 1 over at Turnstone, because you all had gone into overtime at that point. And then the game kept going and going and going until we finally hit 5 overtimes and a winner was declared. I have to say, there were a lot of great games that weekend. That one was probably the best one. So let's start. I have a couple questions for both of you. Kenzie, I'm going to start with you. And this may be a tough question, but feel free to answer it however you want. The Wisconsin Warriors were in the lead with about a minute and some change left in the game. And then Michael scored the goal to tie it up. What was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, there's a lot going on for our team. My chair was about to die, so that was something that was playing a big role. We, as you mentioned, there was a big crowd, and we were having trouble communicating as a team, hearing each other. So that was a big thing that we struggled with as a team at the end of that game, was hearing each other because we had been switching goalies. Towards the end of the game, we figured out that wasn't working because we couldn't communicate. But so I think that was the biggest thing that was going through my head was how are we all going to be on the same page? And that's something that's hard to practice. So yeah.
Michael, can you tell me what you were thinking? There was less than 2 minutes left in the game, and you guys were down 3-2. What were you thinking at that point?
We were just trying to get the ball down, and then once we were down there, we would do what we would usually do in that situation. Get the ball down there, get it around them, and then just go. So on that last play, I was thinking it was like, it's either I don't get this goal and we lose, or we get this goal, we tie, and then we go to overtime.
I asked the ref after. He said there was 7 seconds left.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kenzie, I commend you for being able to get over that as well as you have. It's a year later, and I don't know if I would be able to have the same perspective on it a year later, knowing that we were 7.5 seconds away, right, from being champions.
I honestly, when he told me that, he kind of whispered it in my ear, and I didn't tell my team that because it was really hard for me, and I didn't want that to get in their head either, so I kind of pushed that aside. I didn't tell my teammates. I just was trying to get them and myself back into the game and back into the mode of like, there's still a game and we have to play, and there's still time to win if we put our head to it and focus rather than getting upset about that goal that just happened. So.
Right. Michael, what was your thinking, if you can think back to that moment, when you started overtime, like what was your thought process?
We just went off of what we knew. We were basically trying to just keep the ball out of our ends, so then the Warriors couldn't score. And then if we had an opportunity to score, we just get it down there. Because we we did that. We did overtime again in the Founders Cup or the
Mhm.
semifinal.
That's right. I mean, you've played your fair share of overtime games over the past couple seasons, for sure.
Against each other. Yeah.
Yes.
Times.
That's right. My goodness. Yeah, that's right. So Kenzie, then let's talk about that then for a moment too. So this is now the second year in a row that you've played against them in overtime. What's going through your mind at this point?
Well, over the off season, we spent a lot of time watching game film. We watched those games over and over. I think that was something that was always in the back of our head was what happened last year at the Founders Cup. But at the same time, we went in with the mindset of we're definitely a different team, and they probably most likely are too. So just kind of our coach had told us to like forget about the past and just like focus on all the stuff we had been working on all season because we put a lot of time and effort in that season. Like we were in the gym every Saturday for 3 hours.
So Michael, I've got questions for you now, because actually let's do this. Let's go back to the end of the game, and then I'll ask the next question after that. Of regular time, before you started going into overtime, you scored that goal, and you're pumping your fist and you're excited. What are you thinking in that moment? Do you think that, okay, we're going to win the game, or do you think, okay, now we have a chance to at least play for more? What are you thinking when you scored that goal?
I was just like, we're still in this, yay, because like I don't think I didn't like so after Hanjo kicked it, I just was I didn't talk because I was like, I think I said one or two words, and then I was like, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm just gonna go, and then I was kind of like, okay, we have another chance. Let's just do it. Let's just play like we did in the other two games that we had, and
And there you go. So now it's overtime, and it's actually overtime number 5. We're going to skip the first 4 overtimes. It's Michael, you were the one that scored the goal. Can you talk to us about that final play and then what you felt like after you scored that goal?
After the first one, I was like, okay, let's just set it up again. We'll run it again because that almost worked. And we just had to do it from the other side. Alicia screamed, and I just hit it right down the middle because I was like, okay, I'll just shoot down the middle again. They won't expect it. And it worked. I think we were all tired at that moment. And it was like, if we were to went any longer, it'd be like, it was just, it was done.
Kenzie, let's talk about that final play from your perspective, because they did run a similar play right before, and then when Michael scored, as he just said, he shot it right between you and I believe it was Tyler in the goal area.
I think it was Annie.
Was it Annie? Okay.
Yeah, I think
I think it was
My
Annie.
apologies, Annie.
Yeah.
That's a really hard position for you to be in, though, because you have to. Annie's only job is, excuse me, is to watch the post.
Yeah.
Right, and cover whatever happens behind you, and your job is to be disciplined and not let anything get in front of you, right?
Yeah.
So can you walk me through that final play, because you had a decision to make?
Yeah. I think as a goalie and a second defender, everything happens so fast. You kind of have to make a commitment one way or the other, and just kind of hope you made the right decision.
Mhm.
And in that case, I have remembered how they had just done that play before. I knew the play, and it was also a communication thing because Andy and I had usually talked to be like, okay, I'm gonna cover between us, so you back up if it's behind you. But we had a little bit of a communication problem where Andy got in there late because Ryan Nell is usually in our goal, and then he and Andy would flip flop on corners so that we had 2 strike forces in our goal. But Andy had gotten there late because it wasn't good communication because of how loud it was, and then So by the time she set up, we had no time to talk. And so I thought she was going forward, and she thought I was going forward. And so it just went right between us. So, yeah.
So really, it was just a big miscommunication, which is
Yeah.
hard, right?
Yeah.
So okay, well that's fascinating. Thank you for revisiting that moment with
Yeah.
us. I appreciate that. That's all the questions I have. Kenzie, Michael, I want to thank you for joining us today and walking us through that game. We are about to watch the President's Conference Championship final from last season, 2019 at Turnstone. I want to thank you all for watching, and we will see you soon. Take care.